What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. Now, first things first, as always, before we go ahead and get any further into the video, thank you, God, for another day and opportunity. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To join the Rich Gang family, turn on post notifications, hit that like button, and don't forget to go ahead and drop a comment down below. Where are you tuning in from today, watching? I'm coming out of Cali, and can we go ahead and reach 50 likes on this video? But as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, I'm going to be bringing y'all the best, rare, most toxic catfish slasher build when it comes down to NBA 2K22 on current gen. So with this build, we're going to be able to get all of the contact dunks, pro dribble moves, shoot, then we're even going to be able to have a 99 close shot on this build. So what you want to go ahead and do when it comes to the breakdown of the pie chart, I did decide to go with the finishing and the shooting, but with this one we're going to get a little bit more of the blue, which is the finishing, compared to the green being the shooting. Now for the physical profile, you have two options to pick from. So if you do decide to go with the very first physical profile, you're going to get the maximum possible speed, but we take a huge hit towards our vertical on this build. So if you go with the fourth one, you're getting a plus 12 put towards our vertical, and you're only getting from an 84 to an 80 speed. So only a -4 compared to this physical profile, being the fourth compared to the first. Now, you can pick either or of these two, but I'm telling you, to get the most out of this build, I would definitely go ahead and pick the one with an 80 speed, 80 acceleration, and an 84 vertical. Now, when it comes down to the breakdown of what we're going to be looking like for the finishing, I'm going to go with a close shot of 88. Then, when it comes down to the driving layup, I'm going to go with a 91, as well as a driving dunk of an 81, and we're going to be able to get 15 finishing badges. Now, once it comes down to the shooting, this should all be based off of your own preference, but for my liking, I'm going to go ahead and max out the mid-range shot as well as the three-pointer. Then from there, I'm going to go with a free throw of 86 as well as an 87 post fade. And we're going to be brought up to a total of 21 shooting badges. Now, for the playmaking, remember, I said we're going to be able to get pro dribble moves on this build. So what you want to go ahead and do, remember, each of the areas of this build are very specific, so if you do decide to go about it differently, you do risk changing the build name, and I'm telling you, this is easily one of the best all-around, well-rounded builds to use, because we're getting contact dunks. On top of all that, we're going to be able to shoot from deep. Then, with the pro dribble moves, only going to make this build that much more better. And then finally, for the defensive end, we're going to be able to get an extra 7 badges on this build if you did grind out each season 1 through 7. But as you can see, we're still going to be able to get a few badges put towards our defensive area. So I'm going to max out my perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal, and go with a 64 defensive rebound and put the rest towards your block. And we're going to be able to get a total of 6 defensive badges. Now, the badge count is going to be 15 finishing, 21 shooting, 13 playmaking with 6 defensive badges. All around, I would definitely have to say, once we go ahead and get into the breakdown of the height, weight, and wingspan, this is what's really going to put this build over the top with what it's able to do at its full potential. So, just know, when it comes down to anything of this build, if you feel like changing it, make sure that you do it afterwards, that we get the build name together, so that way you make sure that you're getting everything out of this build that I bring to y'all, as well as the best way to make it. Now, for the body shape, I would go with burly or built to take up the most space on the defensive end. Then when it comes down to the height, I did decide to make this build out of the metric system. So in order to make this build, go into your settings, go to the units of measurements, then change it from the imperial to the metric system, and you're going to be all good to go. But with the height, I did go with 1.96. When it comes down to the weight, 83 kg is going to be perfect. Now, if you go anything higher, it's going to affect the main physicals. And then for the wingspan, I'm going to go with 214 centimeters. Now, once you grind this build out to somewhere around anywhere to 97 to 99 overall, we'll be able to unlock the pro dribble moves, the contact dunks, and honestly with boost on this build, we will be able to get a 99 close shot and include the takeover, y'all. With the physicals, you're getting a +8 as well. So our speed, acceleration, and the vertical are all going to be above 90. Then when you go ahead and consider, if you did grind out each season and do have extra badge points, put them towards this build, and it's really going to be one of the most toxic builds to use, and honestly one of the best catfish builds as well. But as you can see, we get the slashing, shot creating, playmaking, and the sharpshooting takeover. In my opinion, the sharpshooting and the shot creating are very similar because of the shooting boost, but then the shot creating and the playmaking are very similar because they're able and bring you the animations to break ankles. So whichever one that you decide to go with, make sure that this is based off of your own playstyle. For my liking, I would definitely have to say that spotted precision or shot creator takeover is going to be the one that I would go with. So I'm going to go with the sharpshooter, and as y'all can see, we were able to create the best catfish slasher, and this is a perfect comparison of Zach LaVine. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and check out what this build is going to be looking like once we get to 99 overall. Consider running with teammates that have floor general and defensive leader both on Hall of Fame. Now that right there is going to give us a +12 from the +4 from 99 overall. But if we do decide to buy our own boost, which is another +4, add +12 to our main stats when it comes down to the finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defense. And then finally, depending on the takeover you picked, that is already a +10 when your takeover is activated. So since we did pick the shooting takeover with the sharpshooting, we're going to be able to get a +22 with all 3 boosts included, as well as having your takeover activated, which means you're going to have the potential to be into the high 90s when it comes down to both the mid-range, 3-pointer, free throw, and our post fade. But we can still go ahead and add +12 put towards our finishing, which means we're going to be able to get a 99 close shot, driving layup, and then when it comes down to our driving dunk, this will be in the 90s as well. Now, as for the breakdown of what we're going to be looking like for the defensive end, remember, if you do have the extra badge upgrades, you're going to be able to put them towards this area, but I'm going to go with Silver Intimidator, Clamps, as well as Rim Protector. Now, once we go ahead and get into the breakdown of the playmaking, I'm going to go ahead and spread the wealth. What I'm going to do is go with Gold. Handles for days, quick first step, hyperdrive, and then I'm going to add on Bronze Unpluckable, and then for the very last badge, you can go with Quick Chain, which isn't necessarily needed, or Triple Threat Juke. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and get into the breakdown of what we're going to be looking like for the finishing. So, basing this off of my own preference, I would definitely have to say you got to go ahead and put on Posterizer as well as Limitless Takeoff, both on the Hall of Fame category. Now, if you do decide to go with anything else other than what I'm showing y'all, that is definitely okay, but you are taking a risk with not getting the full and max potential of what this build will be looking like and also be able to do on the finishing end. So, I'm going to go with Bronze Fearless Finisher, then from there, Silver Unstrippable, as well as with the 99 close shot. You got to go ahead and make this build that much more overpowered with the Hook Specialist badge on Hall of Fame. Now, we got 21 shooting badges to go ahead and get into, and we're definitely going to be able to spread the wealth here. So let's go ahead and check out the first badge that I'm going to run with will be, of course, Hot Zone Hunter, and you cannot forget about Sniper as well. Both of these are really going to allow this build to hit more consistently, but more importantly as well, be able to boost our shooting percentages and how often we're able to hit from deep. So, from there, I'm going to go with Deadeye as well as Blinders on Gold. Then, Silver, Corner Specialist, and then Bronze, Green Machine, and Volume Shooter. We have 5 more remaining badges. So, there are multiple ways that you can go about spreading the wealth here. If you wanted to, I would really consider Difficult Shots. Go ahead and put it on Gold. Then I'm going to go with Catch and Shoot and Clutch Shooter, both on Bronze, just to spread the wealth and be able to get even better shooting percentages. And this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. 15 finishing badges, 21 shooting, 13 playmaking with 6 defensive, but remember, we have an extra 7 that we're able to unlock if you have been grinding each season this year. But man, thank you to those of y'all who made it to the end. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And with all that being said, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications so you can join the Rich Gang family. Can we reach 50 likes on this video? Be sure to go ahead and share it with your family and friends. And last but not least, comment down below where and which state did you tune in from today. But man, with all that being said, thank you God for another day and opportunity. And Rich out.